text a message here in the chat window, and me and my colleague Emilian will try to answer your questions immediately through the presentation. Okay, let me start the presentation here with our first page. Welcome to the TCN CAD-CAM workshop, to the TCN CAD-CAM presentation. We are talking about the complete Schütz Dental digital workflow. And I will introduce you in the following minutes what is about this workflow, what we can offer you as a client, as a dental laboratory, and as a distributor of Schütz Dental. And we will see a little bit the concept of TCN, all available materials. We can jump through some prepared pictures about the digital design. And of course, I will present you some facts and figures. And a little bit about marketing opportunities. I hope you can hear me all quite well. Let's speak a little bit about CAD-CAM technology. This was developed for the processing of mostly of zirconium dioxide, as you can see it here. Very homogeneous, very hard material. I don't want to go into the details too strong. And process many more materials with different CAD-CAM processing machines. Where we are in the CAD-CAM, we counted about more than 150 suppliers and manufacturers of CAD-CAM systems in the dental biz on IDS 2011. So more than 1 year ago, I would say it's more than 200 players in the market which offer you any kind of solution in dental CAD-CAM. If you are a dental lab, you have to run your company, you have to work on economical base, so you have to think about cost effectiveness, what is about the training, about installation cost, when do you start to run your production chain economically, and when do you reach the return of invest. But not only cost rule the game of CAD-CAM, you should take in account that your investment has to be future safe. Do you invest in a closed system, what was offered in the years before? Or are you free to integrate new developments to your machinery? Or can you interchange with other colleagues? Are you free in your choice of materials and whatsoever? We will talk also about the post-processing time and the cost for the production, and where are the limits actually of CAD-CAM produced prosthetics. Actually, the market is divided in today dental CAD-CAM systems. We are talking about production centers, milling centers. Some of them are open to receive any kind of STL files. This is the format for the actual milling data. Or closed processing systems which are not able to interchange with other cameras, for example, with other design softwares. They cooperate only in their own system philosophy. For example, the Sirona system as it was in the years before. And on the other hand, we have the complete systems. which enable the laboratory or the dentist to produce from the beginning, let's say from the impression, doesn't matter if you take it conventionally or with an intraoral camera, through the design software to different kind of production machinery, the full range of today's prosthetics. Also here you should divide between open and closed machineries. What do I mean with closed technology? Closed systems, in my opinion, are all the machines which have a limitation. It doesn't matter if you are limited to a special form of blank material, so the machine can only mill a special type of blanks, or you are limited in your milling cases, so you have to pay additional fees to mill more patient cases, so-called dongles, for example. And on the other hand, there are limitations in maintenance contracts or in software license agreement contracts. Doesn't matter if you are using them or not. And most important information for you is all Schütz Dental systems are open systems, and our philosophy is not to limitate you with any kind of these parts which I mentioned. We have an open source technology, we can integrate files from any kind, and we do not charge you for any specific blank size or for any maintenance fees. Let me go into the details of the CAD-CAM concept of Schütz Dental. As I said already, we have customized CAD-CAM components. That means we can arrange the machinery, the scanner, the computer with the software, and the milling device up to your needs. We offer different components and can connect them optimized for your laboratory. All of these components are barcode and dongle free. That means you buy one system once and you pay for it, and then you are free to use it up to its maximum as long as you want to invest time and efforts in it. But you don't have to pay any more additional cost to Schütz Dental or your respective distributor. This makes your calculation clean and easy, no hidden costs, no surprises, and that means you can work really professionally on CAD-CAM. This is not a hobby, this is not our fun. We should earn money with our production in CAD-CAM. I will show you that our systems are future-oriented. That means upgradable, or you can add or integrate new technologies. I will show you which things are in our minds today. Let's talk a little bit about the materials. Actually, we process most of the time, let's say 80% zirconium dioxide material. This is actually the top of the art product in our industry. We use isostatically pressed material. That means the highest quality of blank in zirconium oxide you can get on the market. And our production takes a special care about the shrinkage factor. As we mostly work on green stage material, we have to sinter it after the milling process. And sintering means that we have a shrinkage of the material. And our special production enables us to control the shrinkage factor exactly to 25%, plus minus 0.1. And that's a really, really important effort for the crown and bridge technology, for the finest fit at the end of the production. Additionally, we have developed a zirconium dioxide material which is suitable for the full anatomic prosthesis production. That means we mill out of a zirconium the full teeth, the late anatomic structure, and it doesn't have to be faced with a ceramic later on. We call that zirconium dioxide occlusal or translucent because it has a much higher translucidity, 53% by the way, than standard aesthetic materials. Furthermore, we offer you resins, PMMA material for temporary crowns and bridges, which are available in different pre-shaded colors. For example, B1, A1, A2 and A3. And it's very easy to process a temporary crown with this material in a nice color, also for a long time temporary. Other resin and waxes are available for the cast-on technology or for the burnout technology, or it is also suitable to use it for trial prosthetics. It's very wise to produce let's say resin model when you work on a very big bridge, for example 14-16 elements. You can produce an acrylic resin model, send it to the dentist, let him try this model on the patient's side, maybe modify it, grind it, and if it fits optimum, you can mill it in zirconium or any other material you may desire. And a little step in the future is composite material. Most of the dentists today use composite fillings every day, and this material is really strong and resistible material with a high aesthetic, and we try and we will present you composite blanks in the near future also for the CAD-CAM technology, which enables you to make more natural-like aesthetic restorations. All these materials which I mentioned here are processable with our 4-axis milling machine, the CAD Eco. You will see more details later on. With the 5-axis milling type, CAD 5, we can offer you additional possibilities. For example, the lithium disilicate material, which is actually manufactured from the Ivoclar company. Emax is the brand name, and it's very popular in some regions. The titanium material is possible to process with the CAD 5 unit because we need a water-cooled process to mill that material. And as well, non-precious metal, for example, chrome cobalt, can be milled. What system components do we offer for you? We can start our process with any impression. For example, we produce a standard gypsum model, and with our scanner we can scan these gypsum model and start the designing process. Our scanner is an optical scanner with an stripe light camera inside, based on stripe light technology. This scanner has open interfaces and can send also open STL data files to other processing centers, for example laser melting centers or rapid prototyping machines. For any other issue you may use it. This technique is very fast. Stripe-like scanning gives us the possibility to manufacture a small unit with a very high quality. Here's a picture of the stripe-like scanning. But in fact it has the highest precision. The precision is below 10 microns. And it has the possibility to, for example, scan opposing jaws, to scan the silicone of a gingiva mask, and scan also wax-ups, for example. And it's not necessary to produce a special gypsum model, so we can scan normally any kind of gypsum. It's not necessary to transfer the model in a special scan model, for example. Of course, you can freely use this scan data. We have the choice of materials, as I said, and the choice of die systems. So, for example, the type of holding systems which we can use. And we offer you 3 different types with 3 different variations. So that means 6 different holders for articulator models. This is the only scanner on the market who can cover the full articulation of the upper and lower jaw in the occlusion, the transfer of occlusion. That means the scan fixator, as we call that instrument here, will be placed into the scanner completely with the 2 models, upper and lower jaw, and it transfers exactly the situation of your articulator on your desk. Depending on different split cast systems here, we can simulate 6 different type of articulators. So we are not limited to one special type. There are 3 different brands in our range here. Let me talk a little bit about the software components. Of course, we try to make this system very easy and understandable. It has a modular design, and of course, it is open to new developments in the market. For example, to integrate the oral scanner, intraoral scanners. Actually, there is already a button pre-programmed to integrate the iTero files, so files which are sent from the dentist to our laboratory can be integrated in the design software with one push of a button. This is already arranged in the software. And we will provide you with up-to-date updates, informations which make your software faster or which eliminates little bugs, because not any software on the market is free of bugs. So you will sometimes detect things if there is some changes in the hardware or in the software. So our team will care about these little problems and manage it to clean your system, let's say it like this. But the software support does also more help for you and your clients. We will develop more and more features for this software, and I will go into the details later in the presentation. But we call these additional modules upgrades. So we will extend the range of the functionality of this software. And of course, these upgrades or optional modules can be bought from your clients. So this is an option and not a must. But I will explain you what is integrated in the basic software. As I said already before, this software is dongle free, so you are not obliged to pay for the use of the software after you have purchased the basic system. The name of our software is Tizian Creative RT, and it was developed from the Fraunhofer Institute in Germany. We have the base system from this software, and we have developed our special uses and integrations on the base of this software technology package. If you see an example later on, you will realize it's very easy and simple to learn. To use it, you are guided by a workflow which has arrows which may lead you forward or backward. You can always go forward or backward in the designing of the software. And that enables you to work in a very easy way. But if you see that you want to adjust special requirements more exactly, more advanced, you can always go deeper into the software and make your individual adjustment. For example, in the software integrated is already a database for tools, 3 different libraries inside the software, and they give you automatically incisal, molar, premolar tooth shades, also pontics, and these tooth shades can be modified by yourself, and you can create your own library of tools, or we can upgrade your tools database, and you can integrate, I think, 12 more tools library forms to adapt it more to your individual needs or for national specialties, for example. The basis package of the software enables you to manufacture or to design crowns and bridges in a full anatomical way, as you see it, for example, here on the picture of a pontic, but also a reduced form, as you see it on the other side here, with a support for the ceramic, for example, in a shoulder, so you may face it with your own designed ceramic layer later on. Both technologies are possible. We offer you the technology for that and also the material. Of course, you can do standard coping, so this is just a cap and you finish it with your ceramic. But these caps can be also used for the overpressing of zirconium dioxide, which is in some countries, in some areas, a very popular technique. That means you produce a cap with your milling machine in zirconium dioxide, and the machine produces you as well a wax up, which you can invest and press with your ceramic pressing furnace. And it is possible, for example, to press ceramic onto the zirconium dioxide to have the most aesthetic result. So if you are a fan of this technology, it's worth to go into more details. Primary telescopes, a very German, a very North European technology, are very easy, very simple to design with the software. You can adjust the friction on any space of the primary crown, and the software can give you as well the secondary crown. As I said beforehand, we can scan wax ups. So that means you can receive from anywhere in the world pre-modulation in wax and scan these wax up and mill the prosthetic out of it. So if you cooperate, for example, with a laboratory nearby or with a friend, it is not necessary always to have a scanner in the house. You can create a standard wax up modulation and you can scan it and design it, modify it if you want, and mill it. 3 different types of primary attachments are integrated to the software, as you see it here. This is a simple straight attachment, which is directly milled out from the zirconium, and the counterpart here is exactly matched. Or you can integrate the plastic housing of the matrix, for example, from a Seika system. Inlays, onlays, and veneers are possible to mill, also the so-called Maryland bridges. Our milling strategies are generally divided in 3 major types. Usually it's a fast milling, the normal type, and the optimum type. And if you are going to mill an inlay or a Maryland bridge with a very fragile design, it's always good to mill it on the optimum milling technology. The finish will be done from a 0.6 millimeter burr finally, and this burr will mill also these fine fissures as you see it here in the picture of this premolar, and the fine parts of any inlay or, for example, adhesive bridge. And another nice little feature is the automatic adjustment of the margin of the knife edge. We will save a lot of time when we use the automatic function of the software to find the preparation line, but it's also always possible to adjust this emergence profile manually according to our needs or our suggestion. And another good help is the automatic adjustment to antagonists and also approximal contacts. We can adjust the counter model, the antagonist model, directly on the screen to our construction. We can define the distance to our ceramic if we want, and that makes life much easier when we integrate the crown later on into the patient's mouth. Let's talk a little bit about optional programs, optional modules. We call it accessories. First of all, the virtual articulator. As you saw already, one part of the accessory is for the scanner. We need the scan fixator. And if we use the scan fixator and the face bow, we can work with the virtual articulator, so parallel to the real articulator on the technician's desk. We have the visualization of the articulator in the software, and according to the type of articulator, which is selected here in the menu, we can adjust different values, not only the angulation of the condyles, also the protrusion and lateration, side shift, and many more, depending if you have a full adjustable articulator or if you work on a medium adjustable articulator. So as said, we can integrate 6 different types of articulators, and the big benefit is that we adjust dynamically the occlusion. So the articulator here in the screen will later on move and do the occlusional movements from antagonist and our prosthetics, and it will grind automatically the right occlusion according to our adjustment. That saves us a lot of time in the later on finished prosthetics. Another very important and very often requested accessory is the abutment designer. The abutment designer tool enables us to scan the scan bodies for a very wide range of implant products. There's a library in the software, and based on the scan of this scan body, the software can recognize the direction, the angulation of the axis, and it can adjust the shoulder height of the implant in the patient's mouth, or respectively in the abutment model. Depending on the milling device, our machine can mill only the coping, which will be placed on a titanium interface, or depending on the database, it can mill also the directly screw connected abutment part. Here we see the adjustment to the gingiva. So with this abutment designer, we scan also a gingiva model, and we will be able to define the adaptation to the gingiva of our abutment. And later on, we can completely construct the bridge in that case according to our needs. Here we can see a single part of these abutments, so we can adjust also here the bottom part of the adjustment according to our needs, if we want to compress or to push the gingiva more or stronger or safely. Depending on our milling technology, we can decide if we can produce screw-retained crown and bridges, as we see it here, or if we can produce just a hybrid abutment, that means zirconium abutment based on a titanium interface, and this is screwed as the abutment and prosthetic construction to the implant. Both technologies are possible with the software, but it depends on your milling device. If you work with a 4-axis machine, or if you have the possibility of a 5-axis milling technology, then undercuts and implant axis deviations are possible to mill. Another new accessory is the bar designer module. This is the possibility, based on natural tools or on implant abutments, to process a bar construction to have removable prosthetics. It's a very low amount of implants. As you see here in the mandible, 4 implants are connected with a bar construction, and it is possible to make the complete prosthesis from molar to molar, which saves a lot of cost for the implants and enables the patient to clean that construction, to remove this construction perfectly. You as a lab can design that bar according to your needs, so all diameters, all height of the bar construction here are adjustable. It's possible to place also ball attachment parts here into the bar to fix the superstructure. Actually, we suggest you to mill these bar constructions in titanium and chrome cobalt, but we don't know what will the future technology also for these parts. The DICOM viewer is another nice accessory. DICOM is the shortcut for CT scan data, so computer tomographically pictures. They can be integrated in our software, and the lab technician can see the anatomical structure of the patient, of the existing bone. In that example, we see the patient has tooth or remaining bone here in the front area, and we prepare a little bridge here in that incisor area, so we can orientate the pontic or the bridge posts here according to the situation of the remaining teeth. That helps the technician tremendously to design the prosthetic according to the existing static situation of the patient. For the laboratories who prefer to work with the aesthetic concept of ceramic veneering, it is very helpful to invest in the TrueSmile accessory part. TrueSmile enables you to see your construction in lifelike colors. Normally you have your construction in a gray shade like this, but with TrueSmile you can switch it on and over to a natural looking like teeth, not only for marketing effects. This shows you here in the dark area, in the yellow part, the material which will be milled in zirconium, and the lighter area here in the incisor part is the space for the ceramic later on. And it's very helpful for the dental technician and for the ceramist to know how much space does he have for his ceramic facing, or maybe he needs more support, as in that area here, for the antagonist, and he can move more or less space from the zirconium oxide in that case, or other work material, to have more support for the ceramic. And this is done by the TrueSmile. Also, situation model is possible to scan and to integrate in our software with this information. So if we have a situation before the grinding of the dentist, we can scan that, or we can transform that, and we can place this situ information directly to our modulation, and that helps us tremendously to rebuild the natural tooth dentition without spending too much time in the modulation of the occlusal surface. Also, time saving is a very good option of the copying. That means a patient which has half of his natural tooth lost, it is possible to just copy that area here, the natural dentition, to the other side and have a complete, like a mirror effect, to have a complete copy of the symmetry of the existing teeth to the side which should be replaced or repaired with prosthetics. Of course, these can be adjusted and modified from us, but we don't start from the very beginning. We have already a natural tooth-like design, and we can start from this. Also, situation model can be integrated to the scan. That means if the dentist gives us an impression model before he started the preparation, we can rebuild the natural tooth dentition much easier than working with the teeth from the database or then rebuilding the teeth from our own. So you see it here, the situation model can be integrated very easily. And the latest update and available model is the splinting tool. We can modulate and we can mill out from a transparent acrylic, for example, trays for the bleaching technology, for bleaching treatments, or for medicamental trays, or for the bite regulation. And this is possible with the so-called bite splint tool. As I said beforehand, we can adjust our Tizian system to your individual needs. We can offer you different types of milling machines. The Tizian Cut Eco is the 4-axis milling machine, a small machine which fits in every laboratory and is mostly suitable for the manufacturing of zirconium dioxide, but it can also produce different kind of resin and wax blanks. As you see here, it's a small milling machine, and it will work with the round blank size, the standard blank type of 98.5 millimeter blank, and we can place very easily a 16 unit bridge here into the blank and place different other small constructions here as well. So the output of this kind of round blank is between 30 and 35 elements per blank. The machine has an automatic tool changer. You see here the 3 position of the drill set, and on the other side are other 3 position for drills of PMMA, and here are the zirconium drills. The machine may need about 4 hours to mill a complete round blank. As I said, 30 to 35 units are possible in one blank, so that makes our production up to 75 units per day. You can mill more or less 2 complete blanks per day. That enables you to produce this quantity here in zirconium oxide or PMMA, for example. It's a very quiet unit with an automatic tool changer and a reliable Jaeger spindle. As I said before, we have different milling strategies. The machine here has 3 possibilities. fast, standard and optimal. Of course, the optimum milling strategy will take you a little bit more time for the final result, but gives you a much better detailed result than the fast strategy, which enables you to mill, let's say, simple coping in about 5 minutes. All these movements are controlled by our CAM software. Also, this software is free of any license fees or dongles, so you are free to use it as much as you can. For the high end and that's more flexibility or wider range of materials, we can offer you our TCM CAD-5 milling machine. This is a full 5-axis milling unit, and you may know the axes are here integrated in the turbine, in the spindle. It moves up and downward, left and right, and backward and forward. These are 3 axes, X, Y, Z, and the 2 additional axes, A and B, are distributed from the blank holder. It moves forward and backward and left and right. So that means we have a full 5-axis machine, and we can control these axes simultaneously. So that means all 5 axes move in the same time. But for higher precision, we found out that a 3+2 axis movement gives us a much better result. Anyway, the machine can do both. It's up to you to choose the right strategy for your needs. Technically, we have the possibility of both strategies. But the machine can do much more. It is possible to have a water cooling system for this machine to enable it to mill lithium disilicate in a special holder, as you see it here in the picture, and that black ring here prevents the water from draining to the machine. So these are the wet milling options for the machine to mill the Vita blocks or Ivoclar Emax blocks under water cooling. Yeah, more details. Also, titanium is possible to mill with the water cooling, and non-precious metal as chrome cobalt, for example. You can see that example here. It's a milling example of a 4-unit bar element milled out from a massive block of cobalt chrome. And future projects are already in the process. You can see that is a model die material. This is a milling gypsum, and we can produce a complete die model out of this gypsum with replaceable stumps here. Clinics which work with an intraoral scanner, they don't want to send you the impression as well. So you can face here the situation that you have a complete digital transmission of the die model, and you can create the model in your laboratory out from a blank of gypsum. Also, a future project is the milling of drilling templates, and as you saw already, the bite splint. This is an example for an implantology template. So we create in a plastic resin autoclavable material a drilling template for our implant system. We can integrate the data of the navigation software, and based on the position of the implants, the software can prepare also the holes for the drilling for implants later on. Additional components as well are available. If you have a big variety of blanks and works, you can add to your machine this secondary housing with an automatic tool changer. We have here 12 positions for the blanks, and the blanks are automatically changed to the machine, and you can mill the zirconium oxide, for example, and then later on PMMA resin, and maybe finally you mill your construction with the chrome cobalt. So the machine can run automatically. You don't have to change every blank after a specific works. And you see that arm here inside grabs the holder of the blank and then moves it from this side to the milling side and changes automatically the complete tool. Milling of chrome cobalt makes it necessary to stabilize the machine with a very high weight. So the complete machinery has a weight of 180 kilogram. This prevents the vibrations from, for example, metal milling of chrome cobalt to cause vibrations into the complete constructions. The turbine or spindle, so-called spindle, is produced by the world market leader Jaeger company from Germany and has a maximum speed rotation of 60,000 RPM. Here is a small listing of all important materials. As we said, we can mill zirconium dioxide and aluminium oxide, resin, composite, wax, and the non-precious metal chrome cobalt. With the additional wet milling kit on the CAD-5 system, we can mill the ceramic materials from Vita, for example, feldspar ceramic, or from Alvoclar, the new lithium disilicate material from IMAX system. And also the titanium has to be milled in the wet technology. The advantage of the TZN program, we can mill with 3+2 axis or with 5 axis simultaneously. All difficult kind of constructions with strong undercut, with implant axis deviations are millable with the 5-axis milling machine. And with the wet and dry processing, we have more than 20 different materials which are available on the market and can be processed with this machine. As well, we have the standard blank form, so that makes this machine future safe for the development of any other materials which may come in the near future. Especially for the sintering of zirconium oxide, we offer you a sintering furnace from the German company Meme and Vogt. This is a high quality sintering furnace in 2 sizes. This model here, which you see, has the possibility to stack 2 of these tabs inside the furnace. One tab can cover 35 units. That means in one sintering process overnight for 8 hours, you can sinter up to 70 units at one time. This is a very high quality furnace with 6 tantal elements here in the top. These 6 elements guarantee a homogeneous heating of the furnace room, and that means the shrinkage and fit of the units at the end of the day is up to the top. For smaller laboratories, we offer also the smaller size of this furnace, which can cover about 30 units at one time. And also a speed furnace is available in the near future. We have a furnace which can sinter single crowns and small element bridges in the speed sintering modus in only 2 hours. To summarize the possibilities of the TZN CAD-5, we just point out the most important parts. Milling of non-precious metal is possible. 5-axis movement enables us to mill undercuts and screw channels. Also, in all of our systems, free STL data are import and exportable, so there is no limitation of the machinery and the freedom of material choice. The philosophy of the Schütz CAD-CAM concept is no hidden fees. As I said it beforehand, we don't work with any license fee or dongle cost that makes your calculation free of any hidden risks. What you see is what you get in our company, and we don't charge you any maintenance contract at the end of the day. Of course, we can suggest you to maintain your machine at least one time a year, but it is not necessary to have a contract with our company or with the distributors. We will not limit you in any way. Some examples for consumables which are available. We have here the clear acrylic range for trials or for the burnout technology. So this acrylic can be milled in a full anatomical form, and you may decide if you want to cast it in metal or if you give this to your dentist for a try-in of the whole works before you mill it in zirconium oxide. Here in the front left side you see a temporary bridge construction from PMMA. It's pre-colored in I think A2 color, and you can finish that and make it more nicely with components from our composite system, for example PCS colors or composite material from the Dialog range. But it's also nice if you leave it just like this. It's very durable material since many years in our product range. In the old times it was a powder and liquid mix, so-called Temdent, excuse me. And nowadays we pour it in blanks and we distribute it to our CAD-CAM clients. Here on the model you can see zirconium oxide construction made out of T-occlusal blanks. In the front side is the reduced form, and we can finish it with ceramic. In the back side we see the full anatomic construction of the two molar areas here, just finished with a polish and application of a little ceramic, of a little liquid for the coloration, and you see already a very nice appearance. But also, of course, full mouth reconstructions are possible with our machine. Here we see kind of telescopic works with ceramic shoulder in gingiva color burned on, and the finish of zirconium oxide. Again, the works of T-occlusal. Very good to be seen that the machine is able to mill also deep fissures here in the side. Inside, this is done by the milling machine and not by hand later on. Here's an example for a comb cobalt milled bridge. Of course, also this is possible to mill in comb cobalt or titanium, or the construction in comb cobalt for a bar on implants. Let me give you some facts about the scanning times, milling times, and processing times. Depending on the skills of the technician, of course, we found out these are average values for scanning of a single crown, 3 minutes, for example. A 3-unit bridge, as you see it here in the background, is scannable in 8 minutes. And depending on the amount of stumps, a 14-unit bridge does not take you more than 20 minutes for the scanning process. Let's take the example of the 3-unit bridge. We have 8 minutes for scanning. We need a little bit modulation, and we do it in an anatomical shape. So a skilled worker can do that for an individual crown in 3 minutes. and for the unit bridge with a Pontic designed in 6 minutes. Also the 14 unit bridge will be done in 20 minutes. And additionally, we have to have in mind we have milling times. Even if the machine does it on its own, for your calculation of costs, you should be aware of the milling times, and you see the times here. It depends, of course, on the material, if we have to mill it in a wet or dry technology, and if we have to work in the standard mode, which we suggest in most of the cases, or the optimum mode for the fine constructions. Here we have our 3-unit bridge in about 25 to 40 minutes. So even if we take in consideration also the finishing time of cutting the supports here and maybe adjusting a little bit, we can produce a 3-unit bridge in less than 60 minutes. Here we see some nice examples of our milling strategies, and you see here very nicely this is a part of our nesting or clouding technology. The objects are connected directly with each other. There is no need for supports in between the objects. This here is used as a sinter bar later on for the big bridge here, but all the single crowns here can be connected directly with each other. And last but not least, we support you with special marketing efforts. We have our speakers and course instructors available for you as a distributor and the laboratory to support you in special events, and we can organize events for a single lab, for example, to introduce this new technology to your dentist clients. We can help designing mailings to create attention in your market, and of course the objective is to get new contacts and prospective new clients. So you see, the TCAN CAD-CAM philosophy is not only a CAD-CAM machine. This is a multi-tool to generate new clients, to generate opportunities for new constructions, for new technologies, and we can help you as good as possible together with our international distributor network. We are available here in Germany, in Rosbach, with our hotline team. There are more than 8 dental technicians which take care for you and your clients on daily questions, as we do it now with the internet remote control, so we can solve nearly all software problems here from our sources and see your computer and connect to your computer. And of course we can be available also for you in your country and support you directly on the site. Thank you for your kind attention. I hope I could show you a little bit more the possibilities of CAD-CAM technology, especially with the TCAN products from Schütz Dental. We'll be here online for the next 10 minutes. My colleague Emilian, who was very busy to answer all your questions. Thank you for your kind attention, and I hope we will see you soon here in Rosbach in our training center or on an exhibition anywhere in the world. Please feel free to contact us or our local distributors. Thank you for your attention.